Day 117 of the Daily Stoic. Things happen in training. When your sparring partner scratches or headbutts you, you don't then make a show of it, or protest, or view him with suspicion or as plotting against you. And yet you keep his eye on him, not as an enemy or with suspicion, but with a healthy avoidance. You should act this way with all things in life. We should give a pass to many things with our fellow trainees. For, as I've said, it's possible to avoid without suspicion or hate. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations 6.20. By seeing each day and each situation as a kind of training exercise, the stakes suddenly become a lot lower. The way you interpret your own mistakes and the mistakes of others is suddenly a lot more generous. It's certainly more resilient, and a more resilient attitude, than going around acting like the stakes of every encounter to put the championship on the line. When you catch an elbow or an unfair blow today, shake off the pain and remind yourself, I'm learning here. My sparring partner is learning too. This is practice for both of us. That's all. I know a bit more about him or her, and from my reaction, they're just going to learn a little bit more about me, too. Oh, guys, I can appreciate this day, day 117 of the Daily Stoic, because this is a situation that happens to all of us, I would say, pretty consistently in life. And what I mean by that is there are, I would say for me, at least once every other week. I was about to say once every week, but I don't talk to that many people in the week. I'm doing meetings with people I know. But I'd say at least once every other week, there is, maybe once every 3 weeks. I'm trying to be honest here. Once every 3 weeks or so, maybe once a month, I have a terse interaction. I have a potentially friction-inducing engagement with another individual, whether it be at Publix or AutoZone or the racetrack or, I can tell you a good one. So I drive a Jeep. You guys know this. I drive a Jeep, and that Jeep is not lifted. It's a Rubicon. It's stock as Rubicon can be. But let's be honest, guys. Headlight technology these days it's like lasers, these headlight technologies. I mean, sometimes I drive down the road, and the person doesn't have their high beams on, but it is eviscerating my retinas. Like, my eyeballs are bleeding from how bright these things are. And so I was driving back from North Carolina. This was just a couple weeks ago. And I'm driving in the Jeep. It's late at night. And I guess the Maxima, it was an older Maxima, so it looked like essentially an Altima, the size of an Altima. I know that today's Altimas are bigger than the old Maximas, but you understand my point. Is that the height of that Maxima, that old Maxima, was just at the height where my headlights, it was obvious, because this woman was angry. It was clearly just blasting into her rearview mirrors. And I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just driving my thing. Yeah, maybe I was creeping up on her because she was going a little bit slow. But man, she was so upset. She started flipping me off, flicking the bird, yelling. I could see her getting all animated and huff gruff like me right now, like a jelly bean, like a funny wave of flesh moving around. You know that meme of that like chunky individual who's just like, that was that individual. This individual, she was so daggone bloody upset, and she made traffic actually pretty dangerous because she started brake checking me. She didn't want to move out of the lane. When I started putting on my blinkers, she would block it. She's like, oh, you're not. Well, why do you want to suffer, woman? If I'm trying to pass you, let me through. Like, why you got to increase the suffering here? This is a decision, an intentional. This is what I was thinking, is that this is an intentional decision made by you to make things worse for you. Because I'm here sitting to, yeah. I was about to say Nickelback. I'm sitting here in my Jeep listening to Nickelback, enjoying my life of randomness, and she's just having an angry party all by herself. If she was more of a Stoic, I would know exactly what she would do. She would look at the lights, and she would say, another trainee. Another trainee. Maybe I shouldn't imbue negativity in this situation. Maybe just the fact that I drive an old Maxima and he drives a Jeep, and the height differential is such that the beams go right into my retinas. Don't be like that lady. Don't be that person. Not every engagement with another sentient being, another human being, every engagement is not an opportunity to win. I see most people in life, guys, they're just trying to pass through the night safely. That's all they're trying to do. They're just trying to get through the fog of life safely to their destination. This is why another reason why I find it so fascinating, guys, that people get so hooked up and so emotional on things that are going on outside their world that mostly they just view through a tube. First off, number one, how do you know if that thing that you're watching is actually happening? Number two, how do you know it actually is happening? And number three, how do you know if it's actually happening? The answer is you don't. So why are you all riled up? Why are you all mad? Why are you all upset about a people group, a nation, or an idea that up till about 5 minutes ago you had no affiliation with? And frankly, given the right context, you probably would have never supported them up until now. Remind yourself, I'm learning here. My sparring partner is learning too. This is practice for both of us. That's all. That's all we're doing here, guys. We're practicing how to be more reasoned men and women. We're practicing to be more emotionally stable and mature individuals, so that when life demands emotionality, when it truly requires it, then we can give it a good go, because we haven't wasted it on a useless moment of headlights burning the retinas out. See you in Discord, MetaFam.